The gap between junior and senior developers is widening rapidly, and those stuck in the middle face the most pressure to prove their value in an increasingly competitive job market. Mid-level developers often find themselves in a difficult position. Too experienced to benefit from entry-level guidance, but not yet senior enough to shape technical direction. As a result, many mid-level developers end up feeling stuck in their careers and unable to make the leap to senior roles despite putting in years of work. And that's where AI can really help you out. By strategically incorporating AI tools into your workflow, you'll gain the productivity multiplier for a senior developer, build a portfolio of increasingly complex projects, and develop the architectural thinking that hiring managers look for in senior level candidates. So if you're ready to become a senior developer, listen closely, because I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why AI is perfect for mid-level developers shooting for senior positions. So let's dive in. As a mid-level developer, you have mastered the fundamentals, but haven't reached the speed of senior developers. You know how to write good code, but often get bogged down in an implementation details. And this is where AI tools create a perfect opportunity for acceleration without compromising learning. Many developers worry that using AI to write code will prevent learning, but this mainly applies to juniors who haven't built a foundation yet. At mid-level, you already understand core concepts, so AI helps you to actually implement things faster without hiding the why behind the code. For example, when you ask AI to help with a complex React component, you understand the solution because you know React's principles, and with AI, you are just getting there faster. Some mid-level developers avoid AI tools due to perfectionism, feeling they should code everything themselves, but this actually slows down the growth. The key is using AI for implementation while focusing on design decisions yourself. So let AI handle standard implementations while you focus on the bigger picture. By strategically using AI for implementation, you'll complete projects much faster while still strengthening your understanding of the underlying concepts. This gives you more time to focus on things like system design and other skills that will actually propel you to the senior level. And speaking of skills that propel your career forward, let's next talk about how mid-level developers are perfectly positioned to use AI for rapid specialization. Most senior developers have at least one area of deep expertise that makes them particularly valuable. After a few years in the industry, you've built enough general knowledge to understand how pieces fit together, but likely haven't developed that standout specialty yet. This mid-career point is ideal for using AI tools to accelerate specialization. I understand that choosing a specialization can feel risky because the learning curve can be steep and time-consuming. AI tools reduce this risk by helping you explore specializations efficiently before fully committing. If you're curious, for example, about, let's say, GraphQL, AI can explain the key concepts, generate sample implementations, and help refactor an existing REST API as an experiment, for example. Some argue that AI-assisted learning isn't as thorough as traditional methods, but I think AI helps you get past the initial friction point to reach meaningful work faster. And by using AI to accelerate specialization, you can actually develop expertise in months that would typically take years of self-study. This focused expertise will make you stand out in interviews and performance reviews far more than being slightly better at everything. But technical skills alone aren't enough. You also need to demonstrate professional maturity, which brings us to our next reason. Documentation separates truly professional developers from those who just write code. As a mid-level developer, you understand its importance, but probably find it tedious and time-consuming. And I know because that's exactly how I used to feel. This is where AI tools provide a surprisingly powerful advantage that's particularly valuable at your career stage. Good documentation requires both technical understanding and clear communication. a combination that takes years to develop naturally. AI tools bridge this gap by generating initial documentation drafts based on your code for you to refine. When you finish implementing a feature, ask AI to document the API, explain design decisions, and create usage examples. This gives you a solid foundation that you can edit and refine. Some developers say AI-generated documentation feels generic, but the goal isn't to have AI write the final documentation. It handles the blank page problem so you can focus on adding context from your unique perspective. By incorporating AI into your documentation workflow, you'll produce higher quality documentation in a fraction of the time and demonstrate the professional maturity managers look for when considering promotions. This immediately sets you apart from other mid-level developers who either skip documentation or spend too much time creating it. With better documentation habits established, let's next examine how AI tools can similarly transform another critical aspect of development, which is debugging and refactoring. Before that though, if this video is resonating with you, I strongly recommend you also sign up for my free newsletter, Modern Web Development Playbook. I share more in-depth content on this and other web development topics for the subscribers over there. So if that sounds good to you, the link is in the description for you to sign up. But now let's go to the next reason. As a mid-level developer, you spend significant time debugging issues and refactoring code. And you have moved beyond syntax errors, but might not yet have the pattern recognition that helps senior developers quickly identify problems. This is where AI tools offer a massive productivity advantage specifically tailored to your experience level. The ability to efficiently debug and refactor often separates mid-level developers from seniors, but developing this skill traditionally requires years seeing the same patterns. AI tools accelerate this learning curve by analyzing code and suggesting potential issues you might not immediately recognize. Some might argue that using AI for debugging prevents developing your own skills, but I would argue that by seeing how AI approaches problems, like which pattern it identifies first or which questions it asks, you're actually internalizing senior level debugging approaches much faster. Of course, only as long as you are not just blindly fixing the bugs with AI, but also reading what and why AI does what it does. So use AI as a collaborative debugging partner, a rubber duck if you may, and ask it to explain its reasoning and then make the final decision yourself. By incorporating AI into debugging and refactoring, you'll resolve issues faster while simultaneously developing pattern recognition skills that typically take years to build. But while AI can serve as an excellent debugging partner, its role as a personalized mentor might be even more valuable for mid-level developers looking to advance. And that brings to our last reason, reason 5. Quality mentorship is arguably the biggest factor in developer growth, but good mentors are increasingly hard to find. As a mid-level developer, you might no longer receive the same attention as juniors, but still have plenty of questions requiring senior level insight. This mentorship gap is precisely where AI tools offer unique value. Traditional advice suggests finding a human mentor, but as said, this can be hard because experienced developers often have limited time for mentorship. Even with formal programs, you might get only an hour of guidance per week, which is not enough for all of your questions. AI tools provide on-demand mentorship whenever you need it. When unsure about, for example, design decisions, you can explain multiple approaches to an AI and have it analyze the trade-offs, similar to brainstorming with a senior developer. Some claim AI can't replace human mentorship because it lacks real-world experience, but the goal isn't blindly follow AI's advice, but to use it as a sounding board that helps you think through problems more clearly. So I'd recommend you to use AI for regular feedback on code and design decisions, then save limited time with human mentors for career guidance and company-specific questions. By incorporating AI as a supplemental mentor, you gain access to senior-level feedback on demand, allowing you to make better decisions more quickly without waiting for human availability. This constant access to guidance creates a learning environment that can accelerate your development far beyond what occasional human mentorship alone could provide. The strategic use of AI tools at the mid-level of your development career creates a multiplier effect that can compress years of growth into months, essentially letting you learn at senior speed while producing at senior quality. I truly hope you found this video at least somewhat helpful, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out my newsletter too. You can find it down in the description.